and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And on screen we've got a puzzle by the evocatively named HalfBakedLunatic. Now, many of you are aware, I'm sure, well, we're aware that many of you are very, very keen chess players and chess fans, and I'm sure you're enjoying the chess tour finals at the moment, which you can watch on the internet between Magnus Carlsen and Hikaru Nakamura. In fact, Hikaru Nakamura actually did a very entertaining video recently where he plays against none other than Kurt Hugo Schneider, who many of you will know is he's a brilliant YouTuber, phenomenally clever bloke and puzzler, and also a friend of the channel. Anyway, do check that out. Anyway, today's puzzle has been highly recommended. We've had I think 6 different emails telling us that we need to showcase this puzzle, and we've also had an email from the author David, who, as I say, HalfBakedLunatic, I should say. And this has a seriously interesting rule set. Now, you'll have seen, I'm sure, some of the puzzles we've done based on chess before, which often contain things like a knight's move restriction, but we very rarely use, the rules of chess as completely as they seem to be used in this puzzle. So I'll run through the rules in just a second. Just to say, we're still on the case for our new game, Miracle Sudoku, and it coming out on Android. We're assured it's imminent, and as soon as I get word, I will let you know via Twitter at Cryptic Cracking. Now, here are the rules to this puzzle. What we've got is normal Sudoku rules apply. We need to think of the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4 in terms of chess pieces. So a king always maps to a 1, a rook to a 2, a bishop to a 3, and a knight to a 4. And essentially, the rules boil down to the fact that we must never let a king be in check, which is an absolutely beautiful idea for a Sudoku. How does this work sort of technically? Well, what it would mean is that because a chess king could, if a chess king was here, it could see this square. So it would be putting this king in check. So you can't have ones a chess king apart. Similarly, you can't have a 2 in the same row as a 1 unless its path is blocked by another piece. So for example, you could have a 2 here if this was a 3 or a 4, because the 2's path to check the king would be blocked by another piece, but it has to be blocked by a piece. It couldn't be blocked by just any old digit. So that's how rooks work. You can therefore, I'm sure you can surmise that bishops are the same. So bishops are the 3. So if that was a 3, for example, it would be putting this king in check, and that wouldn't be allowed unless there was a chess piece blocking the path from the bishop to the king. Now, 4s are knights, so nothing really can block a knight's path, so that would mean that square couldn't be a knight because that would put the king in check. Now, of course, there are going to be loads of kings in the finished puzzle, and we've got to make sure that none of them are in check. There are a couple of other rules too. We've got some thermometers in the grid. As usual, thermometers work by the fact that along the thermometer you must increase as you move away from the bulb end. So if that square was a 3, this square would have to be at least equal to 4. And, it doesn't have to be 4, it could be 5, etc. You just have to make sure you go up as you move along the thermometer. And also, we've got a little killer clue down here, just one. So that's telling us that along the indicated diagonal, which actually looks like it includes this thermometer here, the cells must sum to 22. And you're allowed to repeat digits within that sum. So it's not like a killer Sudoku cage where you can't repeat a number. It's absolutely possible, if that was a 1, that could be a 1, and that could be a 1 actually, apart from obviously all of these would be in check, and that would not be allowed because of the chess rules. So yeah, that's the rules of the puzzle. What I like about it as well is not only does it sound an incredibly elegant rule set, but we've got 1 of every digit at the start. So we've only got 9 given digits here, and 1 of every chess piece, obviously, because we've got 1 of the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I can't commend this highly enough. As I say, well, I haven't said, the testing reports are that this is an amazing, amazing construction. And it's been recommended many times, so I'm sure we're in for a treat today. Do have a go first. The way to play, click the link under the video as usual. And with that, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I'm tempted, to be honest, to look at this diagonal, because if this diagonal has a thermometer on it, There's no way this cell can be very large. I mean, if that's a 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 would be the minimum I could put along that, and that's already higher than 22. That's 25 already, so this square is restricted. In fact, can it be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15? No, it can't. It can't be a 2. That would mean we'd need to make those 3 squares add up to 2, I think, if my arithmetic was correct, and that won't work. So that's got to be a 1. So we're going to get a similar problem here. If we go 3, that can't even be a 5, actually. So if this is not 2, this is not going to work either. 3, 4, 6 and 7. That's too many as well. That's already 21. Right, so actually we can take this further. That has to be a 2. If this is not a 3, we would have 4, 6, 7. Again, that's just going to be too many. We're already up to 20. This has to be 3. Does this have to be 4? Yeah, well, it's probably going to have to be, because if it's not 4, because of the 5 here, we'd have to go 6, 7. And that's already 19. These 3 cells, we can't make them all equal 1. We'd repeat 1 in the box, and also we would break the chess-king condition. So that square is a 4. Now this square can't be a 5, so this has to be... So if that was any higher than 6, if it was 7, we'd have 17 on the diagonal. We'd need these 3 squares to add to 5. That's more reasonable. That's probably doable, isn't it? Although there is a 3 here. So I'm just... This square... No, this square can't be a 4, because if this square is a 4, the minimum for this square would be a 6. So if this square is not a 1 or a 2, we'd have to put a 4 here minimum, and that's already 20. And then we can't put 2 1s in those squares. So actually, this has to be a 1 or a 2, and it can't be a 1, because it would be a chess king. And the chess kings would be touching each other, putting each other in check. That's not allowed. So this is a 2. So now I've got up to a minimum of 18 in these yellow cells. So the maximum value of these 2 cells is 4. So there must be a 1 in one of these 2 cells. And the 1 must accompany either a 2 or a 3. So this square only has 1 degree of freedom. That's got to be a 6 or a 7. So this diagonal was definitely, I think, the place to start. 1s here and here mean there's a 1 in one of those 2 squares. Now, this is nice. Look, 1s. Oh, this is beautiful. Now, look at the 1s. Look at the 1s here. So the 1s in box 4 are locked into column 2 and 3. The 1s in box 7 are locked into column 2 and 3. So we can ask the question, where is our 1 going in column 1? Well, we know it's got to be in this domino. It's got to be in one of these 2 squares. But if we put it here, it's next to a rook, and the rook would put it in check. So it can't be here. It must be there, and that must be now the rook. The rook has to be protected, or the king has to be protected from the rook. So we've got to put a chess piece in this square, and we can't put a rook or a knight in it, so it must be a bishop. I think that's the way this works, isn't it? Now this bishop is seeing that one. Actually, the bishop is seeing this one. So we've got to put a chess piece into one of those 2 squares. But this... Oh, good grief. Look, this bishop here is seeing, it's putting this king in check unless I put a chess piece in one of those 3 squares. Well, that square can't contain a chess piece because we've already got 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s in the box. This square could be a chess piece, but this square can only be a knight if it's a chess piece. But if it's a knight, this thermometer breaks. Because how do I fill it? This square will have to be a 1 or a 2, and it can be neither. The 1s are in one of those two positions, the 2 is here. So this cannot be a chess piece. So this must be a chess piece. And it can't be a 4. So this has to be a 2 or a 3, I think. Oh, but it can't be a 3. It can't be a 3, because if it's a 3, it's going to put this in check again, and I can't hide it. So it must be a 2. Oh my goodness, that is a start. That really is a start. This thermometer is really restricted actually now, because if this can't be a 1 or a 2, it can't. Can it be a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Yes, it can. So this is a 3 or a 4. So there's only 1 degree of freedom along the whole of that thermometer. Ah, and there's a 4 here. So that must be a 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So this thermometer is almost fixed actually straight away. Oh, yes, look, we can keep going with chess. You can keep going. There's 2s in these positions. So where does the 2 go in box 7? Well, it's got to be in one of those 2 squares, because this square can't be a 2. But if it's here, it's definitely going to touch the 1. It's going to put the 1 in check. Wherever I put the 1, this rook will see it. So this cannot be a rook. So this must be a rook, which means this must be a 1. Which means that's a 1, I suppose. This puzzle is sensational so far. Oh my goodness me. Now 1, look. Oh, yeah, in fact, where does 1 go in box 8? Because of we can't put a king next to another king. A king can't go there because of that one, and it can't go there because of that one. So this is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1. My goodness me. Yeah, now let's go with 2s. Where does 2 go in box 2? It can't go next to the king because it'll put it in check. It can't go here because of Sudoku, so it goes there. That means that's a 2. So 2 must be in one of these 2 cells. Now, okay, is that... I don't know whether to look at Sudoku or to look at chess pieces, I have to say. Oh, I tell you what I could do though. I've got all of the digits on this diagonal now. So if these add up to 5, 15, this has got to be a 7 in order to make the diagonal add up to 22. Ah, where does 7 go in this box? 7 can only go here by Sudoku. Where does 4... This is just unbelievable. Where does 4 go in this box? It mustn't put a king in check, so it can't go there because of that. That king would be in check. This 4 rules out that square naturally, so the 4 goes here. These 2 squares have got to be 5, which is here, so we know we're going to be able to complete this box with 5 and 6, aren't we? Oh my goodness me, this is one of those occasions when you just realise you're in the presence of the most beautiful puzzle. It is stunning. That's got to be 3, 6 and 8 by Sudoku. Ah, that can't be a 3 or a 6 because of the column, so that's 8. 8 must live in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. I just want to do the chess though. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. Let's look at chess. Yes, let's look at chess. Where does 4 go in this box? Neither of those squares can be a 4 because they're a knight's move away from that king. This 4 rules out those 2 squares, so 4 goes there. So where does 4 go in this box then? It's got to be either here or here. Oh, oopsie, I didn't mean to do that. Now that's quite interesting because that creates a 2-4 pair. Oh, this is... Well, this is perfect, isn't it? Because if this is a 2-4 pair, that can't be the rook. Because if it's the rook, nothing can prevent this rook from checking this king. Because the 3 and the 4 would have to go in that position because these are a pair. And this would be broken. So actually, we can say that that must be 2, that must be 4, that must be 8. Okay, so let's have a look along here then. We need, 3 must just go there by Sudoku. These two squares have got to be 5 and 9. Can we do that? Yes, 9's there. So 9 and 5 go in. 6 and 7, 6 and 7 go in. 6 fixes the 6 and the 3 at the top. Look down this column, let's place the 5. Look down this column, we still need to place, what's that? It's 7 and something, my scanning's not working. The 2 must shift over here. 7 and 4. Okay, 7 and 4, but, yes, that if the 4 is here, that will put that one in check, so it doesn't go there, it must be this way round. Those two squares are 3 and 9 now. I can't see how to do that bit. But so far, we've made such remarkable progress using the chess moves. 3, 8, 9 into those squares. So this can't be a 3, look, because it would check the king in the corner. I'm sure I'm missing some of these chess restrictions as well. Oh, look, in fact, look, this rook is seeing this square. So it must not be allowed to do that. The only chess piece I can stick in the way is a 3, which I could have got by Sudoku, but that was far more elegant to do it by chess. You agree, don't you? I'm sure. That's got to be a 9. These have got to be 5 and 8, which we can do. So down here we're looking for 4 and 7, which we can do. This is unbelievable. So those two squares are 5 and 6, which I can't do. At least I don't think I can. The 8 here fixes that this is a 9. So is this bishop seeing anything? Not sure. All the ones are placed now, so all of the kings are known quantities. We've just got to figure out how to position the other digits around them. So these is 4 and 8. Let's put that in. Those squares have got to be 9 and 6. Let's put that in as well. This must be resolvable now. Why haven't I resolved this? Or maybe it's where does, hang on, yes, where does 4 go? Let's keep doing chess, Simon. Where does 4 go? Can't go here. Yeah, where does 4 go in this box? By Sudoku we can rule out all those squares. So the 4 is in one of these positions. Well, it can't go there because it would put 2 kings in check. So it must actually form the bulb of the thermometer. That fixes the 4 and the 8 and the 6, the 6 and the 9 and the 7. So this is a 3, this is a bishop then. Oh, and look, that bishop, I wondered if it was going to hit that king, but it doesn't because there's a knight in the way. This must have taken some constructing, actually. That's a 7, that's a 6, just to complete that column. This 6 fixes the 6 and the 5. We've got the low flying plane going over again. Oh, so this square's a 5 by Sudoku. And we've got 8, 9 in here. So this, now look at this finish. We've got a deadly pattern. So ordinarily, if there were no extra rules in this Sudoku, there would be 2 ways of filling these cells. So there's going to be something that, it's not that one. One of these 3s must be hitting a king, I think. It's this. Well, this one certainly does. Let's just check. No, it's not right. It's not this one. It's this one. Look. On the diagonal, it sees the king. And all of these are not pieces, so it can't. This cannot be a 3, otherwise it would break the rules of the puzzle. This is just one of the most beautiful puzzles you will ever see. I hope that says it's all good. Yes, it is. I absolutely love that. My goodness. The opening steps were beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This bishop having to be stopped from seeing this king here. Wow. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I hope you enjoyed it just half as much as I did, but I'm sure you all did. And yeah, we'll be back later on with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.